It was exactly 10 years ago that the MAGA era officially began, as that greasy hairball slid down the golden escalator like a clog in Ann Coulter's shower drain. And it was only 3 months ago that it felt like the resistance to MAGA bottomed out, when Chuck Schumer stood up there and told us we had to further enable the Trump government so that we could minimize harm to the American people. How far we've come. No Kings has made it clear to me the next era of American politics is right on top of us. But whether that momentum becomes a movement depends on our next steps. And in this new era, we could redefine executive authority, recommit in policy to checks and balances, and fully defend the proper role of immigration in building our future. The end of the MAGA era of politics is going to present opportunities everywhere all at once. But getting there is going to take determination and grit. Doing this well means we will have to better characterize our vision for the future. And that begins in how we choose our leaders. Because no matter how badly we want a movement to grow itself, no movement delivers the change that you want without a good leader. And we don't know who these leaders are yet, but we know they're out there. All we need to do is identify them and rally behind them. How do we do that? To put a very fine point on it, we give up on this dream of rebuilding the Democratic Party of 2006 or 2008, because this is not the America of George W. Bush or Dick Cheney or even Ronald Reagan. MAGA is completely untethered from traditional Republican values. Republicans knew this and they hated it in 2015, but because Trump won out and because they were terrified for their own existence, they all got in line. And in creating that new movement, they won. And this is what our current Democratic leaders do not understand. A new movement requires a new counter movement. And if Democratic leaders are looking at the history of their pay stubs and not the future for their kids and grandkids, they need to ask themselves why they joined the Democratic Party in the first place. Because what we need right now more than ever is fearlessness. The exact same kind of fearlessness many of our current leaders used when we last rebuilt the party in the 60s and 70s. And the exact same fearlessness we just saw from tens of thousands of Minnesotans, who, defying the requests from their own leaders, left their homes to protest the Trump regime, all while an active manhunt swept their state in search of a violent criminal who not only took the lives of two people, but who had circled and intended to target the very No Kings protests they were going to attend. This is the fearlessness we hold, and this is the fearlessness we require. But it is not the fearlessness we see in most of our Democratic leaders, as we come to grips with the fact that what got us here will not get us there. This movement requires new leaders with new voices who understand that a new era needs a new energy. So please, put down the press release, hang up the suit, and let go of the donor list. But don't step down and don't step aside. Step forward and serve the future as a mentor to the next generation of leaders. Help us build the future so we can put MAGA behind us, end this American nightmare, and rebuild the country that defined the American dream. By the way, I've never done this, but if you like this video, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. I hate ads because they waste our time, and I hate paywalls because they limit the reach, which leaves us here, just you and me, and this thing we're building together.